Alright, in this video, we're going to see how we can, if given a physical context, how we can visualize sound waves coming from a noise source. So first, we're going to use something known as Pachyderm. So you go to Food for Rhino and you type Pachyderm. Now, Pachyderm, if anyone is wondering what this means, is just a family of animals that contains elephants, rhinos, and hippos. But here, within the grasshopper environment, it helps you uh, simulate sound waves and later even find reverberation times and basically visualize sound. So you can see that this is what it's capable of, whether you're designing acoustically like an auditorium or an amphitheater, or just designing for sound. It really helps you visualize what sound is doing and give you a lot of information. So it's free and you can download it from here. We first have to log in into Food for Rhino and then go type Pachyderm and just download. It will have an exe file. You will have to download the stable version and then just download and install. Double click on it. You will have to reinstall, you have to restart Rhino, close Rhino, open again, and it will be there. Nothing too complex. Now here I have a physical context. I have a slightly curved uh, site and I have a boundary wall, and we're just designing for, let's say, external noise. So I have this boundary wall and I have this building, and let's say somewhere outside I have some source, and I want to see that what is the height of the wall should I give, and how can I aid my design. So what I'm going to do is I have sound wave visualizations here as the code for this. You're going to go to Grasshopper and go to open document and Soundwave visualizations, load the script. It's a tiny script, but you don't really have to look at this part. I'll just group it and put it on the side. And what you need to focus is just on this. So mainly just we need to insert a source, which is basically your sound point. Okay, and we are considering that we have a sound point somewhere outside. So I'm going to go to Rhino, type point, and locate a point somewhat it's underneath. Now I can click here and use the gumball to move it above. Let's say my sound source is somewhere here. Okay, now this is my sound source. That's all I need to do. First I'll go to this, right click, and I'll put set one point, and I'll click on this. And second thing I need to do is toggle on and off. So right now it's false. If I double click on it, it will toggle into true. So it's a Boolean state. False means it doesn't work. True means it turns it on. So false turns into true, and you can see suddenly these waves forming up. Now you have two things here. First, if you want more detailed waves or more number of waves, you can always change the number of waves. Fewer waves gives a very basic idea. I've kept the minimum as 10, and then more the number of waves, more it sort of increases. You see that it doesn't go that side. So whether that's air, it will not go only where there's built a physical environment like the ground. It'll represent the waves there. Okay. Now you can see two things here. One is the rays itself and one is the point. Now if I want to just switch off the rays, I can right click and click preview off and click on the points, and I can use this slider to see 0 means the starting point, and this kind of works in time. So you can see the wave sort of bouncing back. Okay, and if I don't want to see this, or I'll just leave it like that, I'll switch it on and I'll right click preview, and I can visualize just the rays itself. So it helps me design. Let's say if I don't have a wall, if I click on this and I delete it, and then I go again, false, and I refresh it by putting true, you can see that the sound wave sort of reach my building. Okay, I'll go here, undo, and then it sort of helps me design for what is the minimum length of the wall I can have. So I can sort of go here and sort of decide what is the minimum length of wall the sound I can have. Now you can see that it's almost sort of reaching there, but you can also, just for fun, you can always move it somewhere else and you can see the visualization. Okay, and you can always, depending on your computing capacity, you can always change these. You can always go here and see how the sound travels. You can also kind of get an idea that where it travels the fastest, and in terms of bouncing, it bounces like a couple of times. I have kept everything here. Number of bounces I've kept 10, but mostly since everything is super hard right now, it's gonna just bounce once, and after that it's going to dissipate. So that's all. Very simple plugin, Pachyderm, and also very useful to sort of visualize your sound waves.